It's the Friday before a long weekend, TGIF. From the KUOW newsroom, this is Seattle Now. I'm your host, Paige Browning. Today we'll hear from a Seattle middle school super speller. But first, here are today's top stories. It's Friday, May 22nd. Bicycle weekends, folk life, sporting events, and so much more kick off today as we enter the first long holiday weekend of the warm season in Seattle. We'll run through a few highlights so you know what's going down around town. The Northwest Folklife Festival is back at Seattle Center with a theme this year of joy, solidarity, liberation. And you'll find food vendors, music from around the world, and acts such as Massive Monkeys, Seattle's Totally Relaxed ukulele musicians, and Balkan Dance. There are also 2 Seattle Storm games down at the arena, so Uptown is going to be packed. This weekend is the first bicycle weekend on Lake Washington Boulevard, where no cars are allowed on a 3-mile stretch. And that's going to continue every weekend through Labor Day. Book lovers also got a hard launch today. It's the first day of Summer Book Bingo. You have until September to read from categories such as women's sports and hard-to-love protagonists. And in the spirit of the holiday at cemeteries and churches around town, you'll see events to honor those who died during military service, including a Veterans Affairs hosted event in Olympia and LGBT veterans gathering at Pier Seattle. And our city is really starting to transform with just a few weeks until the Men's World Cup, and it's starting in an unlikely place: art museums and galleries. Anna Boyko-Wyrock comes to us from an exhibit opening tomorrow.
Screws pierce the wood frame of a giant soccer ball. It's the centerpiece of an exhibit on global and local soccer culture at the Museum of History and Industry in Seattle. Designer Nikisa Depana thought up this enormous ball installation. It's a symbol of unity.
Earth is round and we're all part of the same planet, and we're in this together.
And all around the world, people are playing the same game. She did too, in fact.
I grew up playing soccer in streets of Iran with my brothers, and I was actually always the goal. I was a goalkeeper because I was not afraid of the ball hitting me.
On the exhibit walls are photos documenting soccer across countries and decades. Other museums also have World Cup-inspired offerings, including the Pacific Bonsai Museum and Museum of Flight. Anna Boyko-Wyrock, KUOW News.
If you're not traveling this weekend yourself, I bet you know someone who is, and that brings us to a little happy airport news. SeaTac International Airport's about to get $39 million from the federal government. Senator Maria Cantwell says in total, 7 airports across the state just received more than $80 million in federal grants, including Everett's Payne Field getting $22 million and Bellingham International getting $10 million. And SeaTac's expected to use its influx to add 2 car traffic lanes to the arrivals area. We have a few updates on the crime and justice beat. Remembrances are still coming in for Juniper Blessing, the UW student tragically killed this month. Attorneys for the man charged in her death say they're trying to determine if their client is mentally fit to stand trial. 31-year-old Christopher Leahy was scheduled to be arraigned yesterday, but now that hearing's been pushed back to June 4th so his lawyers can do their review. Leahy's being held on a $10 million bond. The superintendent of a Southwest Washington school district was arrested Thursday morning. We're bringing this regional story because of its significance. She was charged with obstructing an investigation into allegations of sexual assault. Oregon Public Broadcasting's Eric Newman reports.
Longview Public Schools Superintendent Karen Cloninger was arrested on 1 felony and 2 gross misdemeanor charges by police. Her arrest relates to an ongoing investigation into sexual assault allegations between members of the Mark Morris High School basketball team last winter. Cloninger was charged with tampering with a witness, failure to report, and obstructing a law enforcement officer. A statement from the Longview Police Department says Cloninger directed school employees to handle the matter internally and discouraged further discussion about the issue. Representatives from Longview Public Schools did not immediately return a request for comment. I'm Eric Newman reporting.
And one more in this chunk of crime stories today. Seattle officials say they are monitoring gun violence around North Aurora Avenue after community members called on the city to declare a state of emergency. The area around the Strip seen a string of shootings allegedly linked to sex trafficking over the past 2 weeks. Some community members have threatened legal action if the city doesn't deal with the crime problem. Mayor Katie Wilson says the Seattle Police Department is planning more emphasis patrols to cater to locals' concerns. The Seattle Torrent just got rid of their head coach. The season just ended with Montreal winning the PWHL Cup this year, and today the Torrent said it is parting ways with Steve O'Rourke. In a very short statement, the team says, "We're grateful to Steve for his contributions to the Seattle Torrent during our inaugural season." This season, the team's first, they ended up dead last, despite boasting some of the league's best players. A head coach search is starting immediately. There's one less place to watch sports and get a stiff drink these days in Seattle. The Georgian Dragons soccer bar in Seattle's Fremont neighborhood is hoping it can reactivate its liquor license in time to host World Cup parties. More from KNKX reporter Freddie Menares.
The Georgian Dragon Pub has been around for more than 30 years and frequently makes lists of best bars to watch soccer in the city. Right now, it's serving English-style food such as bangers and mash, along with mocktails and non-alcoholic beers. And people are still showing up to watch soccer matches. Owner Daniel Pagard says he missed an email notifying him that it was time to renew the bar's liquor license. When he realized what had happened, his reaction was...
absolute panic.
He says he's working to get the liquor license back.
I am confident that we will have it done by the World Cup, but I would like to have it as soon as we can.
On May 1st, the pub posted on social media that it would not be serving alcohol. Since then, Pagard says business has been slow. He's had to reduce hours and get creative, such as renting the space for private parties. In Seattle, I'm Freddie Menares.
A couple outdoors notes tonight. Part of the Wonderland Trail in Mount Rainier National Park is temporarily closed for what's being called unusual bear activity. The closure stretches between the Narada Falls Trail and Stephen Canyons Road. Wildlife officials say if you encounter a black bear, stay calm and back away slowly. And if it approaches you, stand your ground, shout and raise your arms. And if a black bear attacks, fight back. For a more chill outside adventure, you could always hit up the water park, but not for too long. Tomorrow, the Wild Waves Water Park in Federal Way will open for its last season. The Federal Way attraction originally opened in 1977 and will close for good November 1st because of rising operating costs. Now, our feature story for the day. The nation's best spellers are getting ready to compete in the 2026 Scripps National Spelling Bee. One of those spellers is a Seattle middle schooler trying to bring the Scripps Cup home. Noelle Gasca has more.
Meet speller 243, Raven Amrine, a 7th grader at Hamilton Middle School.
On the average weekday, I will probably be memorizing 30 minutes at a minimum to 1 or 2 hours at a maximum. On the average weekends, though, I'll probably be practicing 1 to 2 hours.
Raven has hyperlexia. It's a condition that allowed them to start reading words at a younger age than their peers. For Raven, it manifested as a passion for all things reading, writing, and words, including spelling.
My favorite word is obviously the longest word in the English language. So the word is Newman ultramicroscopic silicovolcanoconiosis. It is PNEUMONOULTRA.
Raven has been competing in spelling bees since they were in the 2nd grade. This year, they won the Scripps Regional Spelling Bee for King and Snohomish counties, and now they're the only Washingtonian competing next week in D.C. The only Washingtonian to ever clinch the title of Scripps National Spelling Bee champion is Amy King. She won in 1990 after correctly spelling the word fibran, which is a type of rayon. Her advice for Raven: give your brain a break and soak in the experience.
There are thousands of words, and yes, that one word maybe that you see and you remind yourself of, might be the one that you spell, but the odds of that are so slim.
And, she says, acknowledge how far you've come to represent Washington State. Noelle Gasca, KUOW News.
Next week on Seattle Now, a new report finds that bird counts are declining all over Seattle.
Historically, the main driver of bird population declines is habitat loss, and that continues to be a really important threat that we need to address. But climate change is expected to change the ranges that are suitable for hundreds of species.
Hear that and much more Tuesday morning. That's all for today from the KUOW Newsroom in Seattle. Our producer is Brooklyn Jamerson Flowers. I'm Paige Browning. Seattle Now and KUOW are members of the NPR network. We're taking a long weekend off from evening headlines, so we'll see you Tuesday.